Hello and welcome to this edition of the Alana Sports Show. My name is Mahlatse Mphahlele. I'm sure you're wondering what's happening here because I'm the one who's doing the intro. I'm doing the intro because Chloe Kretsenpanse is not here today. She's not well. Hopefully she gets better and she'll be back next week. But I'm not alone. I'm joined by Jenna Laidlaw. Jenna, this is your baby and welcome.
Yes, thank you.
I tried to write the earlier on and this thing is just way before. How do you monitor this thing?
Again, momentum helps with balance. As soon as it starts moving, it
Yes.
stays upright.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're just sitting on it without it being moved around and everything, it's going to be heavy.
Yeah. So you promised that you're going to take me for some lessons. How long I'm going to take for me to get used to this thing?
Ooh, if you want to start on a 600,
Yeah.
going to start slow. It's going to take a while.
Yeah.
But I think it also depends on the teacher, how quick they can teach
I'm
you.
told you're a good teacher, so I'm sure I'll be fine.
I try to be.
Yeah. All right. Jenna, you're a professional motor racing biker. Maybe let's just go back a bit. How does the interest of this stuff comes from you?
So, I actually come from a big biker family. My dad rides bikes.
Okay.
So, since 8, 9 years old, I started riding bike on like the small pit bike scrambler type things. And I just progressed upwards as I got older. My very first road bike I got when I was 15.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I got into an accident for that one when I was 17, but you know, I walked away. And then after that, I jumped to 1,000. So it was actually quite a big jump.
Yeah.
But I feel like it made me more vigilant, a lot more.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I started from young.
So you've been into it now. You finished school and then you decided, okay, let me try and focus more on this thing.
Yes.
Yeah. Which is what you do now.
Basically, yeah. I saw one of the guys, Tian Fischer. I haven't seen him in a while. Hopefully I see him soon again. But I saw him ride on the road and he said he does racing. And the way he was riding on the road, it was amazing. I told myself, I actually want to ride like that.
Yeah.
So he said, you know what, come to the track, and I've been training a little bit, and especially with timber, he taught me how to scrape my knee. So it was great.
Yeah, because when you guys are going on a curve, you go to the knee, and sometimes I get worried and say, hey, the knee's gonna break there.
I'm not gonna lie, the first time when I scraped it, I caught a fright, but I mean, after a while you get used to it, and it's actually so exhilarating.
And you haven't had any sort of
No,
justified.
not for the track. I mean, last year in September, when I did go into the wall, unfortunately, I did have a hairline fracture on my rib, which is not too bad, and I damaged my shoulder a little bit. It healed. I would say the most big accident that I got was the road accident when I was 17.
All right, I guess one of the key things here, Jenna, is that as a woman in this sport, I don't like using the word barrenness, but it's the reality of the situation. Yeah. One of the things is to get better, is to do this thing, which is what you love. But I guess also to inspire a generation of young girls out there to say they can come into this space and they do what they want to do.
Definitely, yeah, no. Especially people when they see me, because I'm so small, they're so surprised. And then they see I'm a girl as well, then they're like even more surprised. Unfortunately, not a lot of people ride bikes as much in my generation. So hopefully I can get more people inspired. I mean, my cousin and one of my friends, I actually pulled them in to come and do some track riding. So that was nice. Trying to build it up, you know. So hopefully it's a bit of inspiration for some people.
And I can imagine it takes as in any sort of sports, there's a lot of work that happens when nobody's watching. A lot of hours of training. And how much work do you guys do behind the scenes?
Well, obviously you need to go practice on the track. You have to make sure you have enough, tire left to ride. a lot of things. Tire warmers, you need to bring your extensions. Remember your key especially, otherwise you won't be able to ride.
People forget the key.
Your suit, helmet, gloves, boots. You have to check oil, your chain. It's a lot of petrol, a lot of things you actually have to check. But practice-wise, you at least need to practice every week, but it is very expensive.
I mean, for you, like in a week, how many hours of
just practice? So at Red Star, if you do a full day, you get like 5 sessions, which last from 9 o'clock until I think 4 o'clock. So you basically ride the whole day. You try to ride as much as possible.
And that whole day means, as we're saying, all these things, there's wear and tear, there's petrol, there's oil, there's all that kind of stuff. It's money.
It's money.
Yeah.
It's just money all around.
Where do you get all of that?
No, I'm not going to lie. I'm actually quite grateful for my dad and my mum. They were actually the ones who helped me get into it. And I just told myself, you know what, I can't really rely on them for the rest of my life with this. So I decided, let me start working, save up some money, and just pursue the dream.
Because I see your mom is here with you today. That's what she's not in camera, but that family support is very important because you can't do this thing alone.
No, that's very true.
With the issue of money and stuff like that. So family support is critical.
Yeah. No, if I do struggle, they help me out wherever they can. So it's very nice of them, as well as my friends. Some of them also support me with it. So it helps.
Yeah,
it helps.
Yeah. And then what are you busy with now in terms of competition and stuff?
So next race is Cape Town. I actually decided not to do that one. It's a bit far and expensive. If something does happen...
Oh, expenses, yeah.
Also, if something happens, let's say on the road on my way there, then I won't be able to race either way. So I decided, let me just save up the money, do Kyalami, Swartkop, and then Kyalami again. Do the other 3 races. By missing just one, I think it's okay.
It's okay, yeah. It won't be too much, yeah.
But the rest of them, I'm going to try and push for them.
But is there money domestically in this, when you win races?
Not really, hey. It used to be, back in the day, probably like 10 years ago, you would have won a bit of money. But now, you don't really win money. You just win a trophy. Unfortunately, yeah.
That can be tricky, yeah.
It is a bit tricky.
Yeah.
That's the thing, you pay a lot and then if you do win, you don't really win a prize.
Yeah, you just get handed a trophy and then that's it.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. That's why it's also important that as you get better, as you get experience, maybe to try and the European market because they, the big boys and the big girls, they make a good living out of this thing.
Yes, yeah, that's their livelihood. So hopefully overseas, I know they win some prizes. Hopefully I can get there. So that's the idea. That's the idea,
yeah. I'm sure talking about overseas, someone like Brad Binder must be a person, I mean, it's a South African, somebody who inspires you a lot to say, okay.
Last year he did amazing, eh? 4th in the championship, if I remember correctly. Now he's one of my top riders, as well as Jorge Martin and Marco Besecchi. So those 3 are actually my favorites. Yeah, I'm old school. I go with Valentino Rossi anytime. Oh yeah. But obviously, Brad Binder as the homeboy. Yes. Especially close to my heart and that kind of thing. Yeah. Well, I'm also gonna start wrapping up now. I just wanna find out now, a bike like this, how much will this thing cost? Oh, it all depends on what you get, eh? I went for Suzuki. They are more affordable, in my opinion. I got this one for 85. It was Adolf's bike. So they actually gave it me for quite a bargain. I'm quite happy about the price. But otherwise, they go for probably like 150 and up. Again, depending on what you get. And you must be careful. You can't crash it. If you crash it, that's a problem. At least they can't see the other side. It's just this side. Yeah, the crash is on the other side. Yeah. Yeah, but I'm told you had a crash sometime last year. When I went now? I'm good, all good now. At least took my time to rest and heal, and get back into it. Yeah. And then you also have to pay for mechanics and all this other stuff to make sure that this baby
is ready for the road all the time. So it can
Yes.
really be quite a hectic thing to manage.
It is. No, it definitely is.
Yeah.
But if you have the right people, I mean,
around you, yes.
you can actually manage quite easily.
And how fast can this thing go?
Oh, gonna lie to you. I mean, when I raced in PE April, the coast obviously makes the bikes and cars more powerful because it's clean air and all that. I pushed this thing down the straights. I think it went 280.
Ooh.
Yeah. And the bikes got quick. They're quick.
What? Yeah, so 280 was probably maybe around about there your fastest speed you've clocked?
Yes. My road bike, I mean, Vessel's run, that's a top speed run people do to check what your top speed is on your bike. So it's just a long straight, 4 kilometers, and you push the bike. And I took my dad's bike. I did 309.
Okay, no, that's something else, yeah.
So it's you know, the sport's for people who love the speed. Not gonna lie.
Adrenaline and that kind of
Yes.
thing, yeah. All right, finally, I see this thing doesn't have lights, so it means you can't ride this on the road. You're
No,
not
no.
allowed to, yeah. So this is strictly just for
the track, yes.
just for the track, yeah. And then at home you have the one that you ride on the road.
Yes.
Yeah, so there's a difference there, yeah.
A big difference. I
And
mean,
on that road you can go 350.
I wish. But you can get 300. You can get 300.
Yeah, well, I think the police will have to say something about that one. Okay, Jenna,
So, yeah.
yeah, fascinating stuff. I'm going to hold you to it where you say you're going to take me for a spin one of these days.
All good.
Show me how this thing. I tried it earlier on. I'll post pictures on my social media. I tried it, but you know it's very difficult to balance because it's very heavy.
You're not used to the heaviness between the legs.
Yeah. I mean, as you say, you know, you are of a tiny frame, but still, you managed to push this thing to over 300.
Yeah.
It's quite very impressive, and yeah, I guess we just want to thank you.
No, thank
touch
you
base
guys.
and say, I'm told this is your first interview, by the way.
Yeah, it is. I'm not gonna lie, I was really nervous.
Talking about interview, actually, I want to introduce. After you're going to be talking to Katlego Mphela, players. That's somebody who knows a thing or two about interviews. I'm sure he has done millions of them
I think so.
during his career. But yeah, Jenna, thank you very much.
No,
and
thank you, I
good luck. We'll see you again. We'll see you around. I think you are in store copies. I live in the area, so I'll pop in all of these days and, you know, I'll carry a plug up and come and support you.
Oh, please do.
Yeah, no, I mean, long may it continue. We wish you everything all the best. Thanks very much for popping in and so early in the morning. And I'm told you have got to go back to work now.
Yes.
Because you're balancing this thing with full-time work and racing because of, as you say, the challenges that are associated with pro racing in the country. But yeah, thank you very much.
No, thank you guys.
And yeah, we'll see you around. Yeah, I guess that's how our chat with Jenna Laidlaw comes to an end. After this, I have a former Bafana Bafana International, former Mamelodi Sundowns, former Kaizer Chiefs, Katlego Mphela. That guy who scored that beautiful goal against Ike Casillas during the Confed Cup. We are wrapping up the Betway Premiership season. As you all know that the season has come to an end, but not come to an end. There's still 1 or 2 matches remaining in the season. After this, let's talk to the Betway Premiership with Katlego Mphela. All right, we are back, as we said before the break, that on the flip side, I'll be joined by Katlego Mphela. I was thinking last night that me and you, Kila, we have come a long way.
Yes,
Again. Yeah, we have come a long way. We've traveled this road together. Maybe let me start off like this, Kila. That we know each other very well. I used to report about you guys when you're playing. As a player, how did you find, or how do you navigate around the relationships between journalist and footballer? You as a footballer and journalist, because there's always been this thing that footballers don't trust journalists.
Yeah, that's true. But I think it's only because of the tablets. I don't think it's more about loan, about disc and stuff.
Yeah.
I think it's because of tablets. You remember back then, Nessie, you had your Daily Sun and they were writing everything and Shwashwi.
Yeah.
So they were,
and also there was no social media.
No social media, and then they were not doing proper investigations or researches. So they just write what they wanted. I think footballers from there, media. Surely South African soccer players generally level are only media, because I think naturally or culturally they shy and they're not trained for these things like overseas.
And sometimes you get situations where if maybe you had a bad game and I write there that no, you were poor, and then you take it personal. Some people or some footballers tend to think it's personal.
It's personal.
Even though sometimes it's not.
Yeah. But also I think, more higher we have passionate fans, and then once you go to social media or entertain these things, you get like maybe the La Pirates, obviously. Chiefs supporters will be negative and you take that to heart, it'll destroy you. But that's why we need that media training or something in this country. But the last time I think they tried it, I don't know if they're still pursuing it or by itself forward, because it can help a lot of players in terms of helping our images. It can't be only more on the pitch. Off the pitch you need such to conduct your interviews and you know how to handle yourself. You don't take things personally.
All right. We meet now. The season is over. I know there's still 1 or 2 matches remaining.
There's still 45 minutes. SuperSport
obviously Sundowns are the champions now. Maybe let's start there, Kila, to say how do you wrap up the Betway Premiership season?
I think it was an interesting one. Firstly, because of Betway is a new sponsor, and
there was excitement.
There was excitement. There was a lot of things where we had to wait for the trophy till the end of the last game.
Were you happy with the trophy? Are you happy with the trophy?
I was there. I'm okay. I'm working with Betway.
You cannot be happy, I guess.
I think it's different.
It's different. That's what I'm saying.
Because people are talking about handles, but the World Cup doesn't have handles, and it took a lot of time to do it, to finish it. So I can imagine the kind of work they went through behind the scenes and stuff. But it's an interesting one. Maybe people will get used to it when time goes on. But I think the weight, that's what made people curious, and they expected something different. But I think it's a good trophy.
I also feel the same way, that it's different. It's not too bad. It's not too good. So it's all right. It's different. Football-wise?
Football-wise, good, but I think the gap is still too big for too much from Sundowns to other teams. Pirates, they try their best to push them, but I think also the squad, they had a thin squad. They didn't have what Pirates Sundowns have. If maybe next season they can rectify that and try to get a bigger squad, maybe they can push and try to, because they played good football. And we can't blame anyone. They tried. They were playing their CAF as well with that thin squad, and the coach pushed himself, pushed the players. He introduced the young ones, and I think they did what they could do. But Sundowns is Sundowns with the resources and the quality. I think that was the difference. Other teams need to also step up, in terms of recruitment, in terms of because Kofulung is 11v11. That's what I was telling people. Well, it doesn't matter if the other team has a lot of money or good quality players. You yourself as a player, you need to tell yourself that I'm playing against Mahlatse Mphahlele. You can get up to so far, but show us something.
And still talking about Sundowns, obviously, as you say, they've got the resources to improve the squad and stuff. You feel they will buy more players.
Always.
They will make the team stronger, because
especially
the dream is Champions League.
The trophies they won so far, they've won 2. They are in the Champions League finals. They're generating quite a lot of money. So I think they'll still go for 2, 3, even 4 players. And they always go for quality. They've bought your Ribeiros, your Allende. Those are quality foreigners that we want to see in the league. So I still think they'll go out there and get more recruitment.
Let me put you on the spot. You think they'll win the league again next season?
If other teams don't reinforce or recruit players, especially your Chiefs or Pirates, because those are the teams that I think
they should compete with Sundowns.
They should compete, and they are capable of pushing them. So if they don't do that, I think they'll win it again with the quality they have and the number of players they have in the depth of the squad. It's scale. It's amazing.
It's going to be difficult for teams.
It's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult because we even saw the Champions League. They're in the finals now of the Champions League. We're talking about continental football, so it shows where they are as a team.
Yeah, no, definitely they are class. I mean, the coach came and there was a little bit of
doubts and stuff.
Doubts and maybe turmoil behind the scenes, and he just went on, and I guess the guy played 21 matches, lost only 1 to 2. That's really, really dominant.
But also, I think when it comes to Sundowns, you must give credit to the previous coaches because there's always foundation. When you get as a new coach there, you get the team that is assembled, and you just need to put your tactics and your philosophy. But Sundowns is the same philosophy. It's Sundowns. So some Babambari, but I think you still need to put the team together.
Yeah, that's the tricky thing because big stars. Some people actually say that it's actually even more difficult to.
It's more difficult. How do you control the dressing room? If I'm not playing as killer, I'll sulk and maybe try to influence other players, and it's a big problem. How do you handle such big personalities or characters? So it's a big thing.
It's a problem.
It's a problem. It can be a problem. So it must give credit to the coaches, the technical staff for in terms of that aspect.
Let's look at Pirates. As you said, indicated earlier on that maybe they were found wanting in terms of squad depth. A famous coach once said, "You never win the league with kids." They've played with youngsters. They started very well. I mean, at some stage, they were up there with a huge gap over Sundowns. And when it came to the Champions League and having to be consistent, and they just didn't have enough to compete with Sundowns. And you can sense that really they will have to buy wisely.
Wisely, a bit of experience there and there. Because these boys have done well, but they need experience where you could see there was a game they threw away. Was it Stellenbosch or Cape Town? Where they were leading. I think they were leading 2-1 and they equalized. And Stellenbosch, was it Cape Town City or Stellenbosch? They got a red card. But you could see the experience there. That's when they lost. I think that's the game where they lost the league because they were up there. And then they couldn't control the game because of maybe the inexperience. But experience is something that you gain. They've gained the experience this season. And that's why you need your senior players to come in. It's like, this game, we're not playing pretty. We're collecting 3 points because Sundowns is also moving. And it can also play psychologically with Sundowns players. Hey, we're winning, these ones are winning. We're winning this one. It's always like that. So a bit of experience, add new numbers there, refresh the squad a bit. We don't know who's going to come as a coach. That's another issue for them. That's another issue. And you saw those players, those youngsters, Pirates, the coach gave them the freedom, they trusted the coach. That's why they were performing how they performed. The next one can come and say
and do something else
and do something different and say, I want experience. I'm only playing this kind of football. You'll never know when it comes to these things. But this season, they've outdone themselves. They played really well.
And also the critical issue of players like Mbogazi, players like Mufokeng, Mkota, and the other kids,
all those,
having played Champions League football. Because Champions League football, we can't overemphasize it. It's very, very difficult to play. And they will, going forward, they will benefit from that experience of playing.
I think next season they'll come, well equipped, knowing better, because they've gained the experience, like you say. Because with Champions League, it's something, it comes to the traveling and you know how the conditions, they're a bit hostile. They're not going to show you behind the scenes, obviously. They're a bit hostile. Sometimes you don't have, they refuse to give you a pitch to train. You can't prepare properly. So the coach has to work with those kind of things. These boys are still young. They never experienced that, and it can play a big role in the psychological factor.
Even sometimes sleeping at the airport for extended. At least these days they charter most of the teams. You don't have that stress, but the stuff that happens behind the scenes can be complicated. And I mean, what must they do, Pirates, really, next season to really try and push? Obviously, we don't know who's coach is going to be, but just generally,
I think they have a good goalkeeper. They can get one that will, a bit of competition. They have a good midfielder, but I still think they need experience in the midfield. Strikers, I think they need to first, because they've tried Mabaso, they've tried Mahopa. Good players, but I don't think they're consistent in front of goals. They need someone who's just going to come and bang in goals, because that's what Sundowns have. They have two strikers. They have Shaulule, they have Reyners, who just came in. They have Salis, who's coming in nicely. They have Ribeiro, who's scoring goals. They're scoring goals from everywhere. So maybe that's what they need. They were consisting a lot, got set pieces, but I think they saw it towards the end of the season. Those kind of things, but they know. I think they have their reports. They'll try to fix that. But I liked what they did this season. They pushed themselves. I like Sundowns, I like Chiefs, but that was
and I guess with Pirates also you felt closer to the end there, maybe the challenge of going deep into the Champions League came back to haunt them a little bit. Yes. Because also, as we have alluded again to Faye, the coach was not rotating the players in the Champions League.
That's another
the same players were playing all along, and it caught up with them at the critical stage.
Yeah, we spoke about it. It was cheese. We spoke about it. I was like, Pirates don't have depth, and he showed me that no, the coach was always playing the same squad, Champions League and other competitions, cups, and those boys, as I said, they still maybe they don't know how to control certain games and stuff. So somehow you'll need to rotate players. These games are a lot.
It is a lot
for a player. You'll burn out. I hear some people saying, but these guys are earning a lot of money. It's not about that. When you earn a lot of money, obviously there have to be a lot of games to generate money as well. But at the end of the day, they still work with their bodies, and it will catch up, like you say. And you still need those players to rotate and be on the same level as your first 11.
Because I mean, if you check, if you in the league, if you go deep in the Champions League, you go deep into the three cup competitions,
and they always do well in these competitions.
Yeah, you can easily play 60-70 matches a season, which is too much.
Sure.
Even the robot will say, this is too much.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
And I don't know how in this country or how our teams are in terms of your generations and stuff. I hear some players, they complain, those kind of things also they work. What they eat after the game. You know, when they leave the premises, you can't control.
You can't control.
That's not good. It's not good.
And also sleep is very important.
Most of Africa, no problem never work.
They can't sleep, Okay, Kila. Let's go to Chiefs. We will start with the three big teams and then go to the other stuff. Chiefs, I think you know the club very well, having played there. In the eyes of a lot of people, Chiefs have had a very complex season. They won a cup, failing to qualify for top 8, extremely inconsistent. Just how do you wrap up Chiefs?
Like you say, it was complex. I felt the league, they started very well as well. The coach was showing, you remember they were saying,
because there was a hype.
Hype. Now he's cooking. Girls stuff for Celesta team.
Load shedding.
Load shedding. They made a couple of good signings. I don't know if it's a problem of players. Maybe the players were not good enough as we thought for Kaizer Chiefs. I'm not saying they're bad players. You know, that team on pressure. There's a lot of things there. And also, I saw a game where they played Pirates. I was at the stadium. They missed a lot of chances. But also, we didn't. I think towards the middle of the season, we couldn't see what they were trying to do. You know, in terms of the philosophy, the type of football they wanted to play, and who's Chiefs' best lineup. We just spoke about Pirates, that they were not rotating teams. We knew who was going to start. Also with Sundowns. So with Chiefs, we didn't have that. I don't know if the coach was trying, but it took long to figure out the starting 11. They brought Lulepo. It was a spark of, Morris. I think Lulopo came in and did very well, but it was too late. And he needed someone to help him. So, you know, he's not living up to expectations up to so far. Then you have those youngsters, as we said, that you can't expect youngsters to win your games, especially when you play for a big brand like Kaizer Chiefs. And there was always something, the issue of the goalkeeper as well. I don't think where Vuma was convincing enough. You know, there were errors he made that I think they cost them some points. Good goalkeeper, but I don't know what's the problem. There's a lot of things that needs to be fixed. Also, from how they recruit players, I don't know. I don't understand. Sometimes you copy me, bro. Sometimes you copy what others are doing. Where they go to recruit,
you must check.
You must check. I think they have resources. I was there. I've been there. I think they have resources. But you know, you'll never know until you're inside there. What's the problem? Now, do you think Nabi must continue? It's another big talking point. Who you gonna take? You change him. He won a cup for the season they had.
Comfort Cup qualified.
He qualified for a Comfort. Give him another season or let him finish his contract. You know, it's what, 2 seasons now.
This is second season now.
Second
season,
2-year contract.
Yeah.
2-year contract. Let him finish the contract and see what he's gonna build. Hopefully they give him the players he wants, and he can say, "Well, but I think he started really well. He won the cup. So for Chiefs, it's not an ideal season, but the cup.
It's something.
It's something, but also not to finish
in the top
8 for Kaizer Chiefs.
For the second season in a row.
Second season, you know, Chiefs is economy of South Africa. If they're not there, and it's something else, a big brand, and I wish them well, and hopefully they can get it right next season, you know, with recruitment and other things.
Now, Sekhukhune and Stellenbosch, they fought up until the last match to see who's going to qualify for Comfort Cup, and it has been a very nice battle there. Also, you know, 2 teams that you can see the structure there, but just not good enough to challenge Pirates and Sundowns there at the top.
Yeah, it's like we mentioned when we started that with Sundowns it's something else, because these clubs, they don't have the budget of Sundowns, but for them to get to that level, to push themselves up, we must give credit to where it's due, and especially with Sekhukhune, you know, when past seasons they've been chopping and changing of coaches, you know, they've tried to bring in players and stuff, experienced players, well-established players, that we must give credit to that. Stellenbosch, we've always known them as a team that produces youngsters and develop their own and they sell. But for them to push, but I've always said with Coach Barker that he's one of the underrated coaches in South Africa since he's been. With him, you know what you get. You know what you get. You know what he's gonna do. There's always these players. You don't know where they get them from.
And they were in a fella again this season.
Again, I don't know how he does it, but I think also the environment, you know, the backing of the owners and stuff, they trust him. So he's got that trust, and it goes to the players. It ups to the players. They can see and they do what he's telling them to do. They believe in the system. They believe in the structure. So well done to Steve.
And it also talks to a club that knows their place. I mean, they lost Jaden, they lost Van Rooyen, but they still, and they went to the market and bought the players that they know can fit that system.
I think what they do, when they replace a player, they don't go for a direct replacement. They go for a couple of players that they know that will fill that gap, and they also have numbers in the squad. So other teams, what they do, if I go, they bring you just replay, and the expectations, sometimes it's not going to be the same, or the performances, or, you know, cause it can bring, if I score 50 goals and they bring you, and it's pressure for you. So it's not like Sundowns where Shalule can go and they can go get someone from Colombia, Brazil.
The other team that I think they were a victim of lack of quality was Polokwane City. They started off the season very well, and then I'm a huge admirer of Coach Puti Mohafe, I think. With limited resources, he's really tried to keep this team competitive enough. It's just that they just don't have the quality of being consistent in the league.
These are the coaches that I like. You know, they work with what they have, and
no complaining,
nothing. You know, but you can only do so much.
Yeah.
You know? Just like I always mention Dan in this kind of situations where I don't think Nana like where he goes, he has to work with whatever he has, and he's always pushing these boys. And there's always 1, 2, 3 players that come up with so you can see he's also developing players as well. You see the structures there. You know what you're going to get when you play against them. You can score 5, they'll come and maybe score 5 as well, and that's the football we want to see in South Africa.
Yeah. Now there at the bottom there is very tricky. It's not all finalized. Yes, your former team SuperSport. Hey, what has happened to this great club, man?
Some might say it's because of bulk development at Sundowns.
Yeah, because if you check over the last while, Ronwen, Aubrey, Sipo.
From us,
yeah, from you. I mean, you, Pa, Pelembe.
Everyone.
Yo, they've been taking players from SuperSport.
But I think the finances also. Finances played a big part. Remember when they said the Premier League lost the sponsorship, the DSTV sponsorship. You know, DSTV and SuperSports. And also when there was a rumor last season that they're selling the club.
Yeah, and that rumor has been there for like, what, 3 seasons now?
3 seasons now, and the players, they know these things. And you know, now the coach that they know Gavin Hunt very well. He knows the club very well. He's gone. The coach that won them 3 Premier Leagues is gone, and the players he brought, maybe they were wondering what's happening and stuff. Because you can see these things while these things are happening, there will be rumors and stuff, and there was a lot of problems. And like we said, the players they brought, I don't think also they matched the style of play of Saksa Gavin Hunt. You know how he plays his football. And I think the money issues, man. That's what is giving. But they have a chance. They have 45 minutes to play.
Yeah, they've got 45. That is a very dramatic thing because on Thursday, 12 o'clock, we'll be all going to. Oh God, good to Lucas Ribeiro. And that 45 minutes against the Golden Arrows, it may happen, it may not happen. The Cape Town City are in the courts, I guess, for that one. We'll just have to wait and see, but you know, obviously it's something which we don't wish to see in our league.
And we have Mangoba Arrows that wants to qualify for the top 8.
Want to qualify for top 8 as well, and so it's a bit complex how the situation is going to be. And you just feel if SuperSport or Cape Town City goes to the playoffs, do you think they can be able to manage the playoffs? Because the playoffs is a very different football. It's
difficult. You can see from previous experiences, the teams that came back from the playoffs, they were a bit fortunate, but it's always difficult to play the playoffs and come back. And also, you don't imagine a team like SuperSport or Cape Town in there, because there is a different kind of football.
Yeah,
you need to be streetwise to come
Even
back.
The players, will they really be able to play? Because there is going to be, I mean, you're going to play against Obid and
they want those boys, they want to come up, they want
and they play different football. They don't give you space. And it's NFD football.
It's NFD football, so it's always that's why maybe if your Polokwane City or your Skukun, they used to these things. They used to these things. But with SuperSports and Cape Town City is going to be interesting. But also I can't imagine the league without SuperSports. I can't. I didn't see this one coming. Honestly speaking, I didn't see this one coming. Because on all that group of legends of SuperSports, we're talking about the same thing. Like, how did we get here? How did we get here? But it's football. It's part of football.
And during your time with SuperSport, it was
well structured, good coaches, good players. The kind of football we were playing. Nelibiza Suksuk.
Suksuk, yeah.
Caledonian
Stadium.
Yeah. Caledonian, so, but we were also fortunate to have those kind of coaches, your Thomas, your Pito. So it was, but also Gavin came and
came. So did you win the league with them? Or
the first season I won the league.
You won the first league, yeah. And I mean, you know, just going back to Caledonian and maybe just take your mind back to the type of players that were there at SuperSport, for the younger guys who may not remember? Hey.
So, we always had good players from defense, especially people liked the players that can play football, especially in the middle. You had your Sibiso Matlang, who was no one knew him until Peter came. Yeah. Like, who's this boy? You had your Kelvin Sibeko, you had Shakes, you had your old guards like Peter Kobane, character, that one. Yeah. You have your Asin Sweleng, you have Mulifi. We had there was a boy from Swaziland, Tabetse.
The TT, Tony Tabetse, left.
What a player.
Yo.
Then you had your youngsters that were coming up, you then played. So it was mixed very well, you know. And then up front you have your Russell Emanis, the late, Marisa lost in peace. You had, it was quality.
Patrick Mayo.
Kanyisa's
father,
Yes, Kanyisa's guys got two good players. And then you had your Masina, Tandom Gomen, there was quality. And then he was trying to bring in all these youngsters from development, your Dentlates and others. So you always...
And at the back you also had old horses there. I mean, Katza, Kaitano, Temba.
Power was coming up.
Power was coming up. Phil
Evans, the left back.
There Rotman also went to our left, Zwane. Mandla Zwane.
Spionko. Good left foot.
Calvin Malen.
We have your goalkeeper, Calvin Malen. So you have a steady team, you have a solid team. That's why you always find people in these finals of the competitions, and also trying to push for the league with those players he had.
You're taking me back. I watched a lot of that team.
And Caledonian was pocket.
Was small,
Palace knows.
You kill them. You kill them. It will really, I mean, I agree with you. It will really be a shame to... Like you said, you can't imagine this league without SuperSport United.
You can't, after so many years, you can't.
I mean, these guys won the league 3 times in a row.
3 times in a row.
Only them and Sundowns.
Also, the players they produced. Like Sundowns is Sundowns. I can count for you. It's Sundowns now because of these players. It shows how well their development structures are, you know. Rowan is now the best goalkeeper in Africa. Don't forget, Onyanga is also from SuperSport. Former number 1 goalkeeper. So only those two can see how the club was right.
And also, you must also forget the other players that went to other teams.
Other teams as well.
No, so they don't only take the players to Sundowns.
But if you sell these players with so much money and then you come back and say you cash strapped or you're struggling financially.
Where did the money go?
Doesn't make sense sometimes because SuperSport is not a team where they sell Onyango and they'll replace him with another Nyango. They'll go for a young one or someone who's not known, cheaper option, and they develop them. So, but as I said, you only know when you're inside these things.
Yeah, you never know. I guess before we go to Sundowns Champions League, as the season comes to an end now, over the last few weeks. During this time of the season, it's about the individual awards. You've been watching. You're involved with the sponsor Betway. Let's start. Your player of the season.
It has to be Ribeiro. It has to be Ribeiro. I think there were moments of brilliance from him where you can see Sundowns was struggling and he took the team by the scruff of the neck and he was winning them games individually. You saw the last goal he scored against... was it Magezi, where he came like this, someone was going to go same time. I mean, the maturity of that guy is something else. The quality is different.
And you'll know because you used to score goals.
Yeah, he controlled that ball. I thought he was going to go same control and top corner. I think the curve is called the same.
No.
I think he's got this left foot. It's amazing. I wish he was South African. But
would you say maybe he will add value for Bafana?
How old is he? 26?
Yeah, he's in the early 20s. It's not.
You see, in South Africa, we live in a complex country and it's different. If he was playing in any other league, I think they would consider that. But here you have a lot of the youngsters that can do the same thing he's doing. It's just a matter of quality and bit of experience. And you need to give these boys a chance, to showcase themselves. If you take someone from outside and fill that gap, and it's one spot left. So I don't think South Africa, we need him. I mean, We went to the last AFCON. We finished third. So
the
it shows
locally based players.
the standard of football. It shows the level where we are now. We have 3 teams participating in the semi-finals of the Continental Cups. We have Sundowns in the finals. We had Pirates semi-finals. We had Stellenbosch in the other cup. So it shows that the league is improving. You know, these players are raising their hands and they're doing very well.
What is his best position? I mean, he scored all these goals from
the left. I think it's the number 10.
Yeah, 10, false 9.
The playmaker, false 9, not.
Maybe not false 9, number
from
10.
Number 10.
Like the Mshishi
Yeah,
thing.
Mshishi, but also he likes coming from the left.
Yeah, and then cuts in.
And cuts in, and so you need to give him the freedom to do whatever he likes. You don't need him to track back and do other things.
Yeah, because I see sometimes he's more on the left and then Jaden more at the 10.
But I think they put them on the left sometimes because of we have Modau, who's a horse, can run the whole day. And you know, so he can cover up the defensive side of things.
All right.
You know.
Okay, moving. Goalkeeper of the season? It's a bit tricky, this one.
China did well, but they always go for someone who has won the trophy, and Rowan is in a CAF final.
But you see also with Rowan and the trick that he was not playing consistently,
and he was not
rotating
tested as well.
Yeah.
So I'll give it, if it was up to me, I'll give it to the Pirates goalkeeper, China. He did very well.
Yeah, also I think now he has worked himself into the Bafana system where now.
And also he needs to give Roman competition to that at that level, you know.
He's pretty much a number 2 now.
Yeah, he can't say I'm number 2 and Roman will play, I'm fine. Anything can happen. So must always be ready and be in that level. If when he plays, no one will say, my Roman got nothing and stuff. You know, but with these performances, I think he's up there.
Like that situation where you had Kune, you had Slamkat, and then you had the late Senzo.
You replace anyone.
The competition was fierce. Anyone was ready to play the
different attributes, but you know, good goalkeepers.
All right, defender.
I like this boy from Paris, left back. He's in Bogazi.
Bogas, yeah.
He came in and he did very well. But also, I think towards the end of the season he was, but maybe it's because of the games, the number of games he played.
Yeah, and also I think people figured him out a little bit.
Yeah, figured him out.
He started making mistakes here and there. He's still a young guy.
Still a young guy.
We don't need to be too harsh on him now.
But also Mdau was outstanding the whole season. Between those two, Mdau and
all right. You're on the fence on this one, okay.
Yeah.
Let's go to the midfield of the season. Your pick?
We picked player of the season,
Football again, we pick Ribeiro.
I'll go for Mokwena.
Tebza,
Tebza is consistent. He does his job. He doesn't get excited. He doesn't let the noise, and he wants to go up and do malakias. He does his job. He's there.
Yeah,
you know what he's gonna give you.
Yeah.
Consistency, you know, simple football and the maturity. You know, now he's the captain of the team, and I like Tebza.
Yeah, he's a good player.
He's a very good player.
A lot of people don't know that his father was also a very, very good footballer. I don't know if you played with him. Alexis Mutau, he played for Hellenic.
No, he didn't play with him.
There was a guy with dreadlocks.
Is his father?
Yeah, Alexis Mutau, yeah. That was his father. He was a very good midfielder also.
Sure.
So you can see already what guy is.
But you can see. It's in the Blazer.
And his partnership with Allende, you can't.
And you know, they dropped Allende. Allende used to play well, was playing.
Yeah.
Now,
they have dropped him there.
It's
the same thing that Ribeiro at Paris did with Talent and Makaula.
Yes.
You need two pillars that can complement each other very well. Yeah, the system is working. Yeah. All right, the striker, I guess, it works itself out. Is the guy who scored the most goals. we don't have to discuss that much. But it was tied between Igram Reynas and Ribeiro.
I'll go for Reynas, you know. Yeah. Because when you come and join a team, a big team like Sundowns is difficult.
And you hit the ground running.
And just hit the ground running, especially when you come from a different
environment system, or type of football.
He's from Cape Town. To get this side, he acclimatized very well. But with Sundowns also, they'll create chances for you. But also, we still need to.
You still need to finish it because some people they create chances for you. You miss an open
for him
goal.
to come in and hit and give Chaulule that competition. I think he's done very well. But as you said, it's all about who scored most goals.
Yeah.
But for me personally, I'll give it to
Coach.
I want to go between Steve Barker and Skukuni, the one we mentioned. Between those two, it's me, I guess, personally. But you know,
even though this Skukuni one, Coach Eric came just now.
Yeah, Coach Eric just came now. But they've always, these guys, Eric and Barker, there's always, you know what you're gonna get, and they will push you.
Yeah,
I like their philosophy and how they think. But you know, in sort of, whoever wins is the one who's gonna get it. So
yeah, that's what I always think, that whoever wins the league should win.
So I think they'll give it to the Sundowns coach.
To the Sundowns coach, because I mean, since he came in December, he's played 21 matches, only lost 1 and drew 2. So that's not bad.
That's a good record.
You know, so but yeah, I guess we'll have to see what happens there. All right, just closing the Bedway Premiership. You happy with
the season,
the football, and then what do you wish for next season?
Yeah, I'm very happy. Honestly speaking, I'm very happy. I just wish the strikers can, you know, come to the party, not only from Sundowns, especially Bamuhai, South African strikers. They don't score a lot of goals, but it's something that we've been complaining about for a long time now. I just hope we improve on that. And then, like we said, other teams must come to the party. And
someone to
you know, you must
Sundowns.
have that. You must have that. Even if it's not about the league, you'll have the top 4 that is entertaining. They push each other. You have the ones, top 8. You have the bottom.
Those who are fighting there.
And you see what kind of football they're trying to play. Excitement. That's what we want to see. That's all we're asking for. And because with Sundowns, I think it's going to take a bit of time to catch up with them. If Sundowns wants to lose, it will be Sundowns that wants to lose.
Yeah. All right. Now, another interesting thing, you played for both Sundowns and Pirates. Who are you more? Even SuperSport, I think you SuperSport Sundowns and
can't compare.
Your heart is way.
I need to, maybe something to explain if I have to go there. Remember, SuperSports, they brought me from overseas where I was not playing and stuff. And then they exposed me to the PSL and everyone started recognizing me. I came there, enjoyed myself. You know, I scored first season. I came June, half of the season. I scored, I think, 11 goals, 10 goals. I was called back. I came back to join them again. I joined Sundowns from SuperSports. So you see, but when I got to Sundowns, well, that's where I got more recognition. That's why I started scoring goals. That's when I started being called Bafana Bafana. So I got exposure from there. And I spent a lot of time there. So where you spend a lot of time, it's not really about two. It's not about two. 10 years ago, I'm so my heart is always with Sundowns because I spent a lot of years there. They took care of me. I can't lie, they took care of me. I'm comfortable now in life because of Sundowns. I went and joined Chiefs because of when I grew up, our household, my grandmother, grandfather, everyone go high. Go Brits and I support the Chiefs. So how long I know whole go in Elma ZCC, you don't know about a bitch.
Yeah, well, not go for
Well, not go for me, all it says. So when I joined Chiefs, I didn't come true because of I knew my family supported the team. Then I wanted to fulfill that. That's why I always say, I wish I joined them earlier, 2 years earlier, where I was still, you know, on the peak of my career. And let me cut this in. Sundowns.
Yeah. Sundowns. Yeah.
I support Sundowns.
All right. Okay.
I love Kaizer Chiefs.
Hey, this is a bit tricky now. The SuperSport is it's spiritual.
It's spiritual.
Yeah.
Why is it crazy?
Yeah.
Pela super.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't want to see them getting relegated. It will be heartbreaking.
Yeah, okay. Before you go to Sundowns Champions League, that goal against Spain, man. Do you sometimes replay it in your mind?
Yes, but I always get videos from someone somewhere every time. I go to TikTok, someone is posted, don't take it. I go to, even today. So even after more than a decade, the goal is still there. Because I understand, you know, some people, it made their childhood. Because if you watch the clip, people were going out of the stadium. And they didn't believe that will come back. The manner we scored the goal, you know, against the opponents that we scored against. Number one goalkeeper back then. Spain, they went on the World Cup or what?
Yeah, I get this comfort. Yeah, they went on to win the World Cup.
Was it Spain or Germany? Spain, yeah.
Yeah, Spain won the World Cup, yeah.
Spain.
Because I guess that was 2009 comfort.
Yeah,
so then they won 2010, yeah.
So everything it's just blended, my bro. Even today, I still get goosebumps when I see it. Because when it's happening or while it's happening, you don't really get to understand the feeling and how people felt. Now when you see it, it's like, okay, now,
yeah,
30, 35 meters. But I always knew I was scoring a goal like that. I didn't know it was going to be against Spain. Because at training, I was encouraged to take free kicks like that. And that's something that was in the pocket.
It doesn't locker. I just needed to unleash at the right time. And looking, just to wrap up on this issue, looking at that time of the Comfort Cup, World Cup, and, you know, again, guys like you, Itu, Shaba, Teko, Yeye, and a couple of guys really did well from that space. But, you know, guys didn't go overseas. Is there that little bit of regret maybe that we didn't really...
Always. I think that was the time. That was the time for... But Benny used to say that. Just go out there like this. You can make it. We tried, but I think also this thing of agents and agents back then it was something else. Also with the club owners, I don't think they were, you know, they understood this thing, how it was going to help us.
Spread the wins.
So it was all about competing here at home, but
it is what it is.
It is what it is. It was not meant to be. Because I remember I had like 11 offers like this. I still have them at home.
After
the Comfort.
After Comfort.
World Cup was worse.
Yeah.
And then some president even flew from Turkey to here, to Sundowns. I remember who was the director of football was Makanya. And then the price tag was too much back then. Because you must remember also, here I can be a good player at home, but the market that side is something else. So I was not well established. Saka is a good player, but we can't pay this kind of money for him. We can always go to Togo, Nigeria, and get someone with not the same quality, but we'll develop them. And we sell
if
them
they're lucky, maybe even better.
Even better, and we sell them with a lot of money. That's the business. So, but now I think they understand here at home. You see a lot of players going overseas. So it's an experience, and also we paved the way for the guys. So maybe it was meant to be like that.
All right. Let's wrap up with Sundowns Champions League. I see you've run out of time. Can they come back, man? Whoa.
North Africa is always difficult, my brother. It's always difficult, especially when they're leading like this. They'll delay the tactics. You know the tactics. They'll delay.
Because they've got the away goal rule now. The away goal.
They'll pack the bus.
Yeah.
Does Sundowns have enough to unlock that defense? That side, I doubt. But they've got I think their away record it's much better than home.
It's better, yeah.
They've always done well away, but with the final Egypt, it's a different story. It's not the same in other games. Hopefully they come back and they win it. They need a second star, because I don't want to say they don't care about other trophies, but I think this one's a priority.
Yeah, the Champions League is the holy grail.
The money they're spending and the investment.
Sundowns players for the Champions League.
I think they know that the Premier League, they'll always try to win it, because they have to. It's a must when you play for Sundowns, especially with the money they put in. So this one is the one they want.
And also there's been a little bit of criticism in terms of how, firstly, the coach set up the team and then changes, and maybe not closing the game.
Yeah. I think when they started, they were more tactical. Both teams, they were tactically well balanced.
Yeah, it was a little bit boring.
It was a little bit boring, but I think that's how you win.
Too technical.
That's how you win your Champions League.
Yeah.
I think you can't just go and they'll kill you. So I think they were trying to feel each other. And when they scored, you score and then you go to the second half, you close. If they equalize as well, I know you're playing at home, but it's not easy. You're playing against these guys, they're on another level.
Yeah, but also, I mean, if you look at Sundowns, they've got 3 guys they were voting before, Dennis, Kennedy, and Mshishi. But also they've got a core of that team, guys who have enough experience in Champions League. Ronza, Kuliso, Aubrey, Tebza.
And they went to the AFCON, right? It's
the guys who were
so
at
they know
AFCON.
the sense.
They will know that the occasion is big.
But also maybe they're winning the Betway Premier League a week before. The excitement is still there. It can play a bit of, can be tricky when you win a cup and you have to play
A big match. After.
Yeah, a big match. I know it's the one that they want, but it can be a bit tricky that they lose focus a bit. And when you play your last game, are you playing with your first 11 that's going to play the final of the Champions League? If you rest them, you have a problem of
continuity.
If you play them, you have a problem of injuries and fatigue. So those things, but
and for the coach, it's difficult. If you play them this week and then they get injured, you miss them.
So
and then you can lose both of them because you are saving players.
I think that played a role because I asked when the game started, is they really playing these guys when they already won the league? But it was tricky, like we said. You rest them also, it's another problem. So you don't know what you're going to do. But they have 3 squads, Malaka. They can play anyone anytime. They can play anyone anytime.
Yeah, please.
It's all about trust.
Yeah.
He's got his own 11. So.
Yeah. So finally, can they bring this thing home?
I think they will score. If they score, they'll win it at penalty. That's what I'm thinking. If they don't score, they lose, obviously. So it's going to be difficult for them.
And on the penalties, you've got Ronwen. He's a very, very good penalty.
And he's got good penalty takers.
Yeah, and they've got good penalty takers, yeah. All right, as we close, Killer, Chloe said to me, I can't let you go before you give another funny pizza story. Not the one you have given us before. I don't know if you've got one. Yeah, Chloe said I must make sure that I ask you just one and then we close this thing.
I'm trying to think which one first, that guy.
Yeah, there's a lot there.
There's a lot. There was it SuperSport? No.
Yeah.
Oh, there was Sundowns. So we used to have Richard Henekane.
Yeah.
Richard. So Richard used to have now Richard. So I don't know. Utile Jimmy was saying, and someone I was up. Hey man, Tagolo Ukawasha. So he came in. Why is how Tabaga so? Came in, got you 1-1. So
Yeah.
hey, brother, no late when I have to Richard. I'm sure. My brother. Why did you do that? Why not Tapagabo?
You are going overboard now. It was easy, just 1 year.
But there's a
lot of stories with Coach Pizza, yeah.
You know that guy when I was at SuperSport, he used to sell out and see the landline, couldn't do. The way his football crazy at time. He'd call you 2 in the morning and he'd take your wife's number or your spouse or whoever you stay with. He'll call you because he knows how phone like a cell phone. You can always go
more quiet.
Yeah, so landline. None of the time I want a landline. Go SuperSport. Phone like a mat. my boy. Channel Mamman, check Suarez. Got to
check how it's moving.
check how it's moving. You speak pilots. And that's our pilots.
Yeah, ne?
That's our pilots.
Yeah.
You know he's coming. Oh, that's our Magalela.
Yeah, Rodri Bagale.
Oh, Galale.
Black Leopards.
I said tactics, I said tactics. And so, I let defense. Method. You know he's coming, he's a horse, he doesn't stop. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
He's coming.
You must be ready.
He's a horse, he doesn't stop that one. And he shoots everywhere.
Yeah, good dala, yeah.
I think the PSL misses him as well.
Yeah, no. Hopefully he will be back one of these days. Coach
Yeah,
Pizzo,
I think so.
do something, man. We need you back in our league. We miss the press conferences.
Yeah, the first
Yeah, we need the press conferences. We need the mind games. He was a master of mind games.
But also, I think with Sundowns, when he was there, he was pushing Sundowns to those levels. Okay, they're in the Champions League.
Yeah.
I'm talking in terms of the field.
Yeah.
Like now, the last game you went, the supporters, Sundowns supporters don't support. How can you not support a team that is winning, beautiful football, you know? They're supposed to pack the stadium. So with Pizzo, with these interviews and stuff, I think also people were
People will get excited and want to go.
So people started recognizing Sundowns even out of the continent because of these kind of things, you know. So I think it was pushing Sundowns in other aspects of the game.
All right, Kila, thank you very much.
Sure.
I'm told you have got a plane to catch.
Yes,
Let
my
me
brother.
not keep you here for too long.
Yeah.
What's happening in Durban?
We have this, I'm invited by Clicks. They're doing this what.
Oh, yes, I saw they had something on
Yeah,
Friday
they had
here
Friday, so it's
at
continuing,
Wanderers, yeah. Okay.
So we'll be there until Thursday.
Oh, all right. No, that's good. Have fun. Thank you very much for wrapping the season with us. Really, always enjoy your expert analysis, your top footballer during your day. Now with Betway, your involvement, you watch a lot of football, and it's quite good. What you guys are doing. We appreciate it. I guess on that note, that's how we come to the end of our Betway Premiership Lisegazine wrap with Katlego Mphela. I hope you enjoyed this show of Arena Sports Show in as much as we brought it to you. Thank you very much. Chloe will be back next week. On that note, thank you very much and cheerio.